Hey nerd family, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to answer the question, is HBO suitable for your kids? But before we answer that question, we're going to go ahead and roll the intro, and we'll see you back here in a second. Alright guys, welcome back. As you may notice, today's just going to be an audio version of me. Before we get into today's video, I did want to go over a few different things here. So you may notice, scrolling across the top here, it is showing you some newer things that have come to HBO Max, as well as some other things that have currently been there. But they have added quite a few things since my last video. So you may notice scrolling across that they have Scoob that was just added. So I'm excited for that. And I do know that they've also added Dr. Sleep. They did have it up in here originally, but it looks like they've taken it out. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys was that if you're watching any anime, such as Howl's Moving Castle here, a quick little tip that I noticed is if you want to watch it in Japanese, you can toggle between Japanese or English. So just a nifty little feature. I don't know if some of the other anime services allow you to do that. I would assume they would, but it's just a cool little feature. If you do want to watch anime and you have HBO Max, you can toggle between English and Japanese. I do just want to let you guys know, stick around to the end, because there will be a special treat of the streaming variety. Alright, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's video, of answering if HBO Max is suitable for kids. And really, the reason we're doing this is if maybe you can only afford or only want one streaming platform and HBO is your choice because as an adult you just know that there's a lot of great content on HBO, well, what are you going to do for your kids? So if you have HBO as your only streaming platform, is it going to be suitable for your kids? Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look. So first what we're going to do is we're going to switch profiles. This is going to be the main screen that you see when you go to HBO. Something quick to point out here is you can only have a total of 5 user accounts. So if you want to have 2 accounts for both mom or dad, and you have more than 3 kids, unfortunately you're going to have to be creative in creating those accounts. You may not be able to have one for each kid that you have. You may have to create them more for age groups of those kids versus each kid individually having their own account. You may have to get creative with that. That's not too far off from most of the other services. Some of them have less than the 5 accounts. Some of them do have a few more than 5, but it's about average. Now, because I have looked into this already, the way we're going to do this today is we're going to make 3 kid profiles first, and then I may have to make another one going forward to kind of show you some extra stuff. We're going to base these kids' profiles based on the age groups that HBO gives, and I'll show you what I mean as we get into it. But I'm going to set each kid account up to the highest age limit for each age group that they offer, just so that way we can see everything here. We're going to go ahead and start off with the first one. I'm going to name them based on what the actual age is. So the first one we're going to make is going to be a 5-year-old. Doesn't matter what color we make it, we're just going to choose a random one here. Now you'll notice that as you set that kid's age, it's going to give you the parental control options or the rating systems that they suggest for that age group. I don't know exactly how the rating systems work. I haven't fully looked into it. I know movies more than I know TV shows, so of course, PG-13 would be a 13-year-old. NC-17 is going to be based for a 17-year-old. I don't know exactly how the TV ones work. I would assume 14 would be a 14-year-old and mature. I don't exactly know what the age group is on that. But for a 5-year-old, this is what it does suggest here. But you can, of course, adjust it as you see fit. So if you maybe have a child that you feel is a little bit more mature than what the rating system suggests, you can, of course, bump it up. Or, of course, if you have a child that maybe is not as mature as they suggest, you can, of course, bump it down. You can also alter these after they are already made. The only thing that I noticed is you will lose what they do automatically suggest. You can't just set it back to what they suggest based on the age group. You would have to delete the profile and remake it again for it to go back to the auto settings of what they suggest. You can also create a pin to switch profiles, so that way one child doesn't try to switch out to either the adult profile or one of the other older child profiles. We're going to go ahead and turn that off for now so it doesn't keep asking for it. If I do try to go in and edit a profile, it will ask for the adult pin, just so that way the child's not trying to go in and change their own age. We'll go ahead and save this as it is. And then it does let you know that you do have that lock on there, so if it is locked, it will ask for the pin to change the profiles. If it's unlocked, it will not ask, so ours will all be unlocked. We're going to say got it. We're going to go ahead and create the next one. This one we're going to make 9, since that is the oldest of the next age group here. And again, we're going to leave it at the default and uncheck the pin. Alright, and then we will create the third one. That one's going to be 12. Same thing with the settings here. Now, as you can see, it doesn't not allow us to make any more. We will go back in and create at least 1 or 2 more age groups to show you some kind of extra stuff after this, but we're going to go on with these age groups right now. There will be some things that are kind of repetitive as we go. I'll try to not repeat myself, but I'll try to show you some of the differences and things like that and try to get through it as quickly as possible. We're first going to jump into the 5-year-olds age group. Now, you may notice as we go through some of this, my wife and I did notice that there are some things that the rating system isn't perfect, so depending on how you feel, how mature your kid is, or not mature for that matter, you may decide to set things a little bit different. There may be some movies, and I'll try to see them as they pop up here, or some TV shows that you are questioning why they're not allowing your child to watch. It's just because it falls into the next bracket there, but unfortunately there is no way to unlock individual titles. I do think if anyone from HBO Max or any other services, streaming services that are watching this, can make some implementations into the back end, if you could allow us to unlock certain titles, that would be an amazing feature there, that maybe we don't want to unlock the next age group, but we want to unlock certain titles that would allow that child to watch. I think that would be an awesome feature going forward, but I'll kind of show you guys that as we come across something. So when you first come into your child account, as you notice, scrolling across the top is going to be more child type movies or TV shows that are not geared towards adults. Of course, there are some adult stuff in there. It'll just be locked out. So some of the adult cartoons sneak through where it shows them but doesn't allow them access to it. You will notice that the movies do have the lock icons for anyone that's out of that age group that cannot watch those. They are locked. The TV shows don't show the lock icon, but if you go into it as an example, we'll click on Uncle Grandpa here. You'll go in and it'll show you it's locked here. They can't watch it. You can go through all the different seasons and it shows you that it's locked. The best way to really see everything is with the menu bar over here. You can see that on the kid profiles, it gives the age groups 2 to 5, 6 to 9, 10 to 12, and 13 plus. Of course, they can go in and look at series, movies, just added animation and characters, and they do have less options to choose from down here on these little channels, but they do still have some. But you can see that the layout is more geared towards kids. Since this one is in that 2 to 5 age group, we're going to go ahead and select that first. The best way for me to show you guys as fast as possible is to go to A to Z. Under featured, you can of course see all the featured stuff. We're going to click A to Z here. Now, they do have a lot of kid content, or kid-friendly content, I should say, but in the 2 to 5 group, they don't have a whole bunch at the moment. I think that's probably the lowest amount of things they have. Of course, you know, your Sesame Streets are going to be long series, so those might take up a bit. Maybe the kids rewatch some of them, and of course, there's other series on here that are longer series. But as you can see, this is all they have A to Z for the 2 to 5 age group. So not a whole lot of stuff, but definitely more than I thought that HBO was going to have. Now it should allow you to play anything in here because they fall into that 2 to 5 age group. You may notice a couple random things as we're going here and there that somehow make it into that age group, but they are just not allowed to see it because of the rating. But they should be able to play anything in here. Now if we go back out and let's go to the 6 to 9 age group, you're going to notice that most of the stuff is going to be locked out. There will be a few things that sneak in. Sorry, we're going to go A to Z here. There will be a few things that sneak in, but most of it is going to be locked out. So as you can see, some of these movies have that lock icon, meaning they cannot watch them. But here's one of the first examples is that I don't know why a 2 to 5-year-old can't watch Alpha and Omega movies. Now, I've never seen them, so I don't know. Maybe they are geared more towards adults, but I really don't think they are. I don't see why you have to be 6 and up or whatever to watch them, but that's just how the rating systems work. Is that it start at PG. Now, as you'll see when we go to the next age group, the way the ratings are done are weird. Is that they can watch the first one, but won't be able to watch the consecutive ones because they are a different higher rating. So it's just the way the rating systems work. It's weird, unfortunately. But like I said, if you said, you know, my child can watch this movie, that's okay, you'd have to unlock the whole PG group, and maybe there's some PG ones you don't want them watching. So it kind of becomes a little weird, but that's just how the ratings work, unfortunately. But as you see in here, as we scroll through, there's a lot more in the next age group than there is in the 2 to 5. So that 6 to 9 age group definitely has a lot more movies and TV shows, or just a lot more content in general, than that 2 to 5 age group. So I'll kind of scroll through fast here just so you guys can see. That's all the stuff A to Z they have, but they have quite a bit of stuff. Now, what I want to try to do is try to find something that is locked in the 6 to 9 age group. So as you can see, we're still on the 2 to 5 kids profile, but we're under the 6 to 9 age group. So of course there are going to be, like I said, some that are in that rating that they put under the 6 to 9, but that are not under the 2 to 5. It's just how they organize things. I wish there was a way that you could click like a see all of what that rating is, I guess you'd want to phrase it as, so that way you know that these are all the things that that child can watch, instead of having to go through all the different age groups and see what's locked and what's not locked. As well as it makes it a little confusing because you don't know if some of these shows are locked until you go into it. So, what, can we watch Ben 10? It looks like we cannot watch Ben 10. It's TVY7. Again, I'm not up to knowing what all of them mean. I would assume that Y7 would be for a 7-year-old, and since we are currently a 5-year-old, we're not able to watch it. Alright, so I think we've seen enough in there. Let's go ahead and switch profiles. Now again, as we switch, if you had the lock on it, it would have asked for a PIN code to get out of the profile. We're going to go into the 9-year-old's profile. Very similar thing that we're going to do here, but I'm just going to show you guys real quick that for the most part, everything in the 2 to 5 group should be unlocked here. Again, we'll go A to Z. So everything in here should be unlocked. There should not really be anything that is locked because we are set to a 9-year-old's profile. Now if we go to that 6 to 9, most of the things, again, in here should be unlocked, but because some things do trickle over, you will find some things that are locked. So this is what I was telling you, that in the 6 to 9 age group, you can watch the first Alpha and Omega, but you can't watch any of the consecutive Alpha and Omegas because they are rated TV PG, which I would assume would fall into the 10 and up range or somewhere in there. So as you scroll through, I'll just show you guys everything that's on here. So you can see that as you get older, there's definitely a lot more content for the older children than there is the younger children. And I know I've already said it, but definitely more content than I thought there would have been for kids. I did not know that there was going to be this much content on HBO for kids. Now, if we're still on that 9-year-old's profile, but we decide to jump to 10 to 12, just like when we were down a step, it's going to be the same concept. Most of it's going to be locked, but there are going to be some things in here that are unlocked. So you'll start seeing some locks as we go through here. I'll first scroll through and kind of show you everything that's on here. So that way you guys can see some of the differences as you scroll through the older kids' profiles here. I do wish that the shows also showed the lock on this screen here instead of having to go into the show. So, as an example here, let's take a look at this. Is this something they can watch? So it does give the play option. It's just rated PG, so a 9-year-old should be able to watch it. I don't really know what this is, but let's click on it. Let's see. I'm trying to find like an adult cartoon because the cartoons tend to be the things that are locked. So I've never seen this cartoon, don't really know what it is. I might have to check it out, but it looks like it's rated TV PG, so of course it is locked for that 9-year-old. It's about a 13-year-old girl, so it's probably going to be a little bit more on the adult side. So it is something that's locked, so that's just an example of a show that's going to come up in that 6 to 9 age group category there, but that is actually locked out for the next group. So let's go ahead and switch now to the 12-year-old. And we will go to the 10 to 12 age group and go A to Z. Now I already showed you in the last profile here all of the shows that are on here, so we don't have to scroll through all of them, but as an example, let's just see, can they watch Adventure Time? So it does allow the 12-year-old to watch Adventure Time. Now, I don't know if you want your 12-year-old watching Adventure Time. I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess it's not that adulty, but it is a bit of a adult-style show. I wonder about the new Adventure Time. And it says TV PG, so that's why it does fall under the category of what they can watch. So if we go back and take a look here at Adventure Time and click here, it is TV PG. So again, I'm not all up on my ratings, but that must be in line with a 12-year-old, so it does allow them to watch that. But that might be one of the things that if you feel that that show's a little bit too mature and the child isn't mature enough, you may have to lower the rating, but then you may lose some other stuff as well. I want to try to find that one that we were just looking at in the other one. Alright, it's Infinity Train. So let's see if it allows our 12-year-old to watch it. Alright, so yes, it does allow the 12-year-old to watch it. Let's go in and see what the rating is. It is TV PG, so that's why we are allowed to watch it. Let's go ahead and check. Now that we know that the child is 12 years old, let's just see what happens when we go to age 13 and plus. We'll hit that A to Z again. Alright, so let's take a quick scroll through. You guys can see what's in the 13 plus, and as we go through, you'll see some of the movies that are locked out because, of course, the child is 12. Again, as we scroll through, I wish I had a better way to show you each TV show that was locked out or not locked out, but there's just no easy way to see every show that's locked or not. I will click on the series category just to kind of see if that shows it any differently before we end this video, but unfortunately I wouldn't be able to go into every show because it would just make this video way too long. If there are certain videos that you guys are, or TV shows, videos that you guys are questioning if it's going to allow a certain age group to watch it before you subscribe, let me know. I can definitely go in and investigate it and let you guys know the answer to that. But again, like I said, you can always customize it if you see fit to lower or raise the rating to allow that child to watch different things. You can, of course, also set parental controls on the adult profile too. So I haven't set any on there, but you can set them and kind of play with that and see how that might work. So maybe if they're on your profile, they can watch a few extra things, but you have it set to pop up a code if they try to access other things. So there you can see everything that's under that category. Now, there's really not much of a need to go in and check other individual things because now we know that the child is 12. They have access to most things, but not all. So just like all the other ones, we may randomly find a show that they have access to or not have access to, but it's all just going to be based on that rating scale. Let's go ahead and take a look. If we go to series, these are all going to be series. So let's see, can you watch Batwoman if you're 12? You are locked out of that because it's TV 14. So I don't even know if you set it to a 13-year-old. I would assume it wouldn't allow them to watch it because it's TV 14. But that's one of those things that would probably come up under the 13 plus category. But if their birthday that you put in is 13, it's not going to allow them to watch it unless they're 14. So just some things to keep in mind there. Now, I do want to do a few other things to kind of show you guys some things here, but we're going to go and delete these accounts to be able to do those. So we're going to go back to Switch Profiles, and I do want to show you can manage your profiles. So if you go to Manage, click the little pencil icon, they can edit their name, they can edit the colors, whatever, but as soon as you click Edit Age and Parental Controls, it's going to ask for the PIN that you set up as an adult. So you'll enter that. And then it's going to let you go in and edit their age and everything. But like I said, when you edit the age, so as an example, if we, well here we'll just change the year, we don't have to change the month. So if we wanted to make this one older, really doesn't matter what age we put in here, or what year we put in here, but let's just say we wanted to put 2000. You notice it'll allow us to adjust the year, but these don't change. So if you were changing, I don't know why you would change the year, honestly, but if you do, if you were going to go in and change the year, and this was set to rated R, and you don't know what year this is supposed to give the rating, you'd have to, I guess, research it first, or delete the whole account entirely, put the birth date in, and then it's going to go ahead and adjust these again for you. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to cancel out of here. We're going to delete these accounts. And I'm going to show you guys something here. So if we add a new account in, now we stopped at age 12. So we don't have the age 13 plus put in there. So we're going to create one for age 15. So you'll see it gives PG-13 and TV-14. Again, we're going to not require the pin. Okay, and we're going to create another profile here. Now, I was messing with this the other day, so let's see how this works, because this is what I was trying to show you guys, that for some reason, I don't know if their system is messed up, but let's try to create a 17-year-old. Now, theoretically, if we create this 17-year-old, it should have access to most things, but let's take a quick peek here. So it puts them at TV-14. I don't know what the age is for mature, so maybe it's 18, but it doesn't go to mature. But what gets me is it doesn't go to rated R or NC-17 either, and they are 17, so I would assume that it would go to NC-17 or at least rated R. I know when you go to a movie theater, you have to be 17 to get in or have an adult with you, whatever the whole scenario is there, but it's not toggling those for whatever reason. So as a second check, just because I don't know what the age is for TVMA without looking it up, we're going to go in and we're going to create one more profile, but we're going to make sure that this person is of age. And I'm also doing this for a secondary thing, just to show you guys if for whatever reason, if you have an adult but needs to have a child or a kid's profile, I should say, for whatever the reason may be, then this is how it would function for you. So we're going to make this one, I'm just going to call it old because I'm going to put my birth date in here. So you know that it should give me full status, but as you notice, it does not. It doesn't give me R, NC-17, or TVMA. I don't know why it does not. Maybe there's something in their system that says you have to toggle those. I really don't know. I guess because, you know, when you're 17, you're almost an adult, so you probably wouldn't be making a kid's profile for them. But I still think that they're not an adult, they're not 18 yet, so it should be able to toggle these. Maybe it's broken. I really don't know. I'll have to do some more research on this. But for this profile, for us to show you some stuff, I'm going to go ahead and toggle these so they will have full access to everything. There will be nothing that's locked out. But again, if you created one that's got my age or a similar age, anything over 18, you can lower it to as you see fit if you need to for whatever your purposes may be. And then we'll hit save. So now we have 15, 17, and old. So let's go into the 15-year-olds real quick. These will be pretty quick for the most part, just to show you some of the quick differences here. So now we know that they are 13 plus. So any of these things will be unlocked. We're going to go to 13 plus. Everything in here should also be unlocked because they are 15. So as we quickly scroll through, you should not see anything that's locked. Now I do take that back because if it for some reason decides to show something that's rated R in here, then you may come across a lock or two here or there, but there shouldn't be anything in here. With a lock on it. So as we scroll through, I don't see anything that's locked. Now again, some of those TV shows, they may be tricking us because they could be locked, but I don't think there's any shows or movies that you have to be 18 for, so that 17-year-old should be able to access it, but remember, it was locked out from R and NC-17 and TVMA, so there might be a few things that it does lock it out for. Alright, so that's going to do that. Let's go ahead and switch profiles here. I apologize, guys. I kept saying we were under the 17 profile. I forgot we were under the 15 profile. But as we saw, there was not anything that we came across visually that was locked. There was probably, like I said, a few shows here and there that may have been locked, because they're 15, not 17. If we go into the 17-year-old profile, we're going to see the same thing as the 15 because we didn't see any actual locks on there. So there was probably a few of them, but we're not going to visually see anything different under the 17-year-old's profile, so we're not going to jump into it and waste time. You probably only have a very limited selection of things in the 15 range that's locked because you're under the 13 plus profile as a 15-year-old, so there's probably not that many things that are locked. In the 17, of course, you're going to have less that are locked. The only things that you may come across is if it does show any rated R or NC-17 or TVMA things. Those are probably going to be locked in the 15 section, as well as the 17, because we didn't bump them up, although it should, I think, have added those into that profile. If we didn't turn those on, then it would lock them out. Let's go ahead and jump into the old profile, which we know has access to everything. So there will be nothing locked in here. You will not come across anything that's locked. As we scroll down, though, you will see all the different things. It's still set, even though this person is well into their adult age. It's still a kid's profile. So for whatever your purposes may be, if you have a full-fledged adult that needs to have a kid's profile, you can set it up as a kid's profile, adjust the ratings how you see fit, so that way it shows them whatever you want them to see. And then, of course, just as all the other ones do, you have your bars over here on the side. What I would be curious to is if any TVMA, rated R, or NC-17 stuff comes up at all in the kids section. So I would like to try to find something that is rated one of those ratings here. Let's see. Because we know that we're obviously blocked out from certain things. What I'm going to do to speed this along, I'm going to actually switch to my profile. I'm going to find something that's rated R and rated TVMA and try to find it over on the kids profile. So if we can go... go to Adult Swim because we know we should find some TVMA stuff here. Alright, so Rick and Morty's TVMA. Let's see if we can find some movies. It's too bad you can't go by rating. Let's try American Pie. What do they rate American Pie? R. Okay. So the only thing we're missing is an NC-17, which I don't know if I'm going to find. We at least have American Pie and Rick and Morty. We're going to switch back here. We're going to go to this profile that we know that they are of age and have access to everything. And we're just going to search for Rick and Morty. Okay, so it does allow you to watch it, but I don't know if you can find it without searching for it. And American Pie. Okay, so it does allow you to find them when you search for them, but I don't think that you'd be able to watch or to be able to find them without searching for them. But let's try it this way. Did it go to R? I guess it did. Alright. So yeah, the only downside with doing it this way is it doesn't actually have it in the library. Even if you're searching all TV shows or all movies, it doesn't come up. You'd have to physically search for it. So we'll do a second method here, just double checking American Pie. Alright, and that's the end of the A's. So yeah, you'd have to know what they are. So that is a downside of doing it this way. It might be better if you have the need to do it this way to set up an adult account and maybe set some parental controls on it. It'd probably be a little bit better that way. I don't know, like if you, just to kind of test this theory here, if you did American Pie and added it, I guess you'd have to come over here and it'll put it in your list. So I mean, you could do it that way too, but it's not a perfect science, unfortunately. And the one last test I wanted to do is if we do go to the 17-year-old profile, we did not enable the rated R or TVMA, so they shouldn't be allowed to watch those, even though I think that the 17-year-old should be, but they are not toggled on. So it doesn't even find them in that case. It does find Rick and Morty. It does allow them to play Rick and Morty. And again, well, see, it comes up here saying Rick and Morty's TV 14. Alright, so you will notice, I did forget about this until just now, that with TV shows, it is a bit weird sometimes. So you may have to keep an eye on this. So Rick and Morty, just as an example, has different ratings for different episodes. So it does say that these first two episodes are able to be watched, so they're probably both TV 14. But then these episodes are TVMA, so they're not going to be able to be watched. And then you come down to this episode and it's able to be watched, and then these ones aren't. So I don't know why the rating system is so weird, but that is how it is. So you may have to keep a close eye on that there may be a few episodes here and there that kind of sneak through, even though you think that the show is TVMA and it's blocked out from that child being able to watch it. There may be a few episodes that sneak through. So keep that in mind. But we went through and kind of took a look at everything we can possibly take a look of at the moment. If there's something I missed, please let me know down in the comment section below if you want me to kind of compare some other things that I maybe missed, or if you noticed something that I didn't, or a different way of doing things, please put it in the comments down below so we can all discuss it. But that is going to be what I was hoping to be our brief overlook to see if HBO is suitable for your kids. It did go a little bit longer than I anticipated, but hopefully it was informative for you guys. And I hope it helps you guys figure out if HBO Max is going to be the platform for you. Now, my 2 cents, if you think there's not enough kids stuff on HBO Max, or you would just prefer to keep your kids off HBO altogether, what I might suggest to you is get HBO Max for yourself and get Disney Plus for the kids. There's a lot of content on Disney Plus, and Disney's very strict on making sure that most of it is kid friendly no matter what. So you shouldn't have too much to worry about on there, but you can of course adjust some of the parental controls on there as well and set up kid profiles there too. I will make a video going forward on making kid profiles on Disney Plus, but you can get Disney Plus for pretty cheap. The lowest that I've seen bundling it would be $5.83 a month. If you can't afford that, then you can pay the $7 a month, but there are some other package deals I've noticed coming around, or some specials that they're locking people into, so you might be able to get it for a pretty good deal. If you can squeeze a little bit more out of it, then I think the perfect package would be HBO Max with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. You can package those three, Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus, for a pretty decent price. Get your sports, all the content that's on Hulu is great, and get your Disney Plus and get it all together and have your HBO for what's to come. That's just my 2 cents. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And now for the special treat that I told you guys about. Alright guys, so here's that special treat for all you streamers out there. Now, I know you guys may watch these videos to know if you're going to get a platform or not. This is going to be something that you would sign up for a year. So this is really for those that were definitely going to try out Peacock and want to save some money. If you didn't already subscribe to their emails, I would suggest subscribing, because they sent me this email saying that the streaming service is starting July 15th, and don't worry, I will be signing up at some point before then, so that way we can go ahead and test it out. But with this, if you sign up now for a year, you will get a discount depending on what package you choose. You also have a few sneak peeks here of some of the shows they're going to be coming out with, so it's going to show some of the Peacock originals. I haven't watched any of these trailers yet, but I do think that I'm going to as soon as I'm done with this. But it does look like there's some decent originals coming. So there you can see the originals. If we go ahead and click on the link to get started here, I can actually show you the discounts. So it brings you to Peacock's page here. You will see some other content that they will have, more than just their originals as they showed in the email. So of course you can see Fast and the Furious here. Now, if you sign up now, you will get 40% off of the premium plan. Now, I believe they're going to have a free plan, and the premium plan, we'll call it the middle plan, which is still going to have ads, but you're going to unlock all the content, whereas that free plan is going to have some of the content locked. So normally it's $49.99 or $50 a year. For right now, if you sign up before the promotion ends, which I believe ends the day before launch date, is going to be $29.99 a year. Both of them aren't bad prices, to be honest with you, either $50 a year or $30 a year, but if you're going to get it, you might as well lock in for that $30 a year and save yourself some money. But not bad. As we scroll down here, you will see some of the other shows that they're going to have. And then you also see that they have their premium ad-free. I will most likely be doing the premium ad-free because I just don't like ads. You don't get as big of a discount with the ad-free as you do with the premium, but it's still a good savings. It's normally $100 a year. Again, still not horrible, but it does go down to $79.99 a year, so even better. I believe at that it makes it, I think it was $6.66 a month. Not a good number at all, but it is under $7, so it's pretty competitive. So if it's something you guys wanted to try, I would definitely say to go ahead and lock in at this price now. If you want to see some videos of how it functions before you're ready to commit, I will be making a few videos on it, and I'm going to continue to make more videos on HBO, Disney, as well as other streaming platforms. I'm going to be doing some comparisons coming up as well, so make sure you stay tuned for those. But I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about this offer that's coming up, and I believe it does end the day before launch date, which again is July 15th. So make sure if you're going to do it, yes, I do see it, valid until the 14th. So if you're thinking of doing this, make sure to sign up before the 14th. It looks like you can pretty much Google peacocktv.com/early sign up, and you'll probably get this website. Or if you just go to their website, if it doesn't have it listed automatically, sign up for their email, and they will send you an email for it. That is where we got to it today. Alright guys, that's going to end our HBO for Kids video today. If you haven't jumped on the HBO bandwagon, I say go ahead and give it a try. There's a lot of great content on there, and they're adding more and more every day. I do want to check out this new Adventure Time. They did add some new movies. They got Scoob, and I know I saw some other ones earlier. All sorts of stuff that they have with the old HBO content and all the new HBO content. I've checked out some of the Max originals. There's not a lot of them yet, but they have some good stuff on there. So definitely, guys, if you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence, I would say go ahead and sign up. See if you can find yourself a deal. I was able to lock in for a year for $11 a month versus the regular $15 a month. If that still exists, make sure you try to search for it. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll see if I can try to find some deals for you, and we'll go ahead and add them into the comments. But I appreciate you guys sticking through with me. I hope you found this video informative. Make sure you guys check back for more. If you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, please give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure to share this video across any social media platform that you like. Of course, if there's anything that I left out, you'll find it in the description down below. Also, make sure to leave any of your questions in the comments down below. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, stay nerdy.